Good morning, students. I welcome you once again for a new class in physics. Today we are going to discuss and solve the numerical problems of Archimedes principle, and children, we are going to solve the numericals of exercise 5B. Okay, there are total 10 numericals in this exercise. I will be solving first 6 numericals for you, and the remaining 4 I will be solving in the next class. Okay children, so I want you to take out your notebooks, your pens, get ready to solve the numericals with me, and please be very careful and attentive while solving these numerical problems. I read out the first numerical for you. A body of volume. Now what's the volume of the body? Volume of the body is given to be 100 cubic centimeters. Okay, 100 cubic centimeters is the volume given. It weighs 5 kgf in air. So weight of the body in air is given to be 5 kgf. Weight in air is given, volume of the body is given, and also the density of the liquid is given. So density of the liquid is 1.8 into 10 to the power 3 kg per cubic meter. Now this liquid is the liquid in which the body is immersed. Okay, what are you supposed to find out? You are supposed to find out the upthrust and also the weight of the body in liquid. In the liquid. So these two things are to be found out. As you very well know, children, what is the formula for upthrust? We have already done in the previous exercises. The formula for upthrust is B rho G. Okay children? What is the volume of the body? 100. It is in cubic centimeter. This is in cubic meter. It requires a conversion. Be very careful. And we already know that when we need to convert cubic centimeter to cubic meter, we multiply by 10 to the power minus 6. Because it is centimeter into centimeter into centimeter thrice. So it will be 1 by 100 into 1 by 100 into 1 by 100. That would be 10 to the power minus 6. And what is rho? It is the density of the liquid, 1.8 into 10 to the power 3. The value of G is not given. In these questions, if the value of G is not given, you will not substitute the value. You will not. In fact, you will just get the value of upthrust. When you multiply, what you can do is 100 upon 10 to the power 6, you can bring it down into 1.8 upon 10 to the power 3. Okay, these two zeros cancel with this. So after you solve, you will get 1 upon 10 to the power 6 into 18 upon 1 zero remains over here after cancellation, and 1 decimal, so it becomes 100. When you solve the entire thing, your answer works out to 0.18. Okay, 0.18, and it will be kgf. Now because we haven't substituted the value of G over here, so the unit will be kgf. If we would have substituted the value of G, then your unit would have been Newton. But we haven't substituted. That's why the unit for upthrust is kgf. Okay. Now the second part of the question is, you are supposed to find out the weight of the body in liquid. I am doing it over here. Weight of the body in the liquid. Here we are going to apply the logic. What is the logic? The logic is the weight of body in air minus the upthrust. Okay, minus upthrust, because I take this on the basis of Archimedes principle. We know that the weight of the body in the liquid, it goes an apparent loss in weight, and undergoes an apparent loss in weight. So therefore the weight of the body in the liquid will be weight of the body in air minus upthrust. Now what is the weight of the body in air? It is 5 kgf minus 0.18 kgf, and it works out to 4.82 kgf. Okay children, so with this we solve the first numerical problem. It's on the board. Look at it carefully, then we go to the second numerical. what is the weight of the body? In air it is equal to 450 gram force, and 310 when completely. So weight of body in the water is 310 gram force. This has been given to you. You are supposed to find out the following things. Number one, the volume of the body. I'll pick up one by one each part and do it for you. You are supposed to find out, the first part of the question is you are supposed to find out the volume of the body. In every part we are going to apply Archimedes principle. What do you think would be the volume of the body? See, the body in air is 450, in water is 310. The difference in the weights will be equal to the volume, because in Archimedes principle we have said that when a body is immersed in a liquid, it displaces some amount of liquid which is equal to the volume of the body. So therefore the volume of the body will be 450 minus 310, and that works out to 140. And because it is volume, so the unit will be cubic centimeters. You need not convert it to SI unit, okay? Because there is no calculation involved, you are just subtracting. The second part of the question. Now the second part of the question says loss in weight of the body. This is very, very easy. Loss in weight of the body. The loss in weight of the body again is going to be 450 minus 310, and this time it will be 140 GF. Why GF? Because it is the weight. When it says loss in weight, it is gram force. When it says volume of the body, it is cubic centimeters. Okay, and remember the answer is the same. Why? Because according to Archimedes, the volume of the body is equal to the loss in weight of the body. And the third part of the question is you are supposed to find out the upthrust. Now upthrust is again equal to 450 minus 310, and that is 140. Because it is upthrust, the unit is GF again. So these are the three things. You can have a look. This question is having the same answer every time. But then what is different? We are applying the logic of Archimedes principle. It says that when a body is immersed in a liquid, it undergoes a loss in weight, which is apparent, which is equal to the volume of the body, which is equal to the upthrust. So therefore the answer is same, but check the units. If it is upthrust and weight, it will be GF. If it is volume, it is going to be cubic centimeters. So children, you have to be very careful. And they've asked you what is the assumption. Here we assume that the density of water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Okay, so that's our assumption. So children, this is question number 2. Just have a look. And then we start with question number 3. Just have a look. This is question number 2. I'll start solving question number 3 this side. Okay. Fine. You are provided with a hollow iron ball. So you have a hollow iron ball, and on the other hand you also have a solid iron ball. So you have two objects. One is a hollow iron ball and the other is a solid iron ball. Now what else is given to you? It is given the volume of the ball is equal to 15 cubic centimeter. That has been provided to you. And the mass is 12 grams for the 12 grams, and a solid iron ball of mass 12 grams. So the mass is the same for both. But both are placed on the surface of the water. Find the upthrust in each case. Okay, you are supposed to find out the upthrust for both separately, and you are also supposed to find out which ball will sink. Okay, this is your question, and they have given you the density of iron. So we'll write down here, because solid, so we'll write down density of Fe. Iron is Fe. Density of Fe is given to be 8 grams per cubic centimeter. So look at the data on the question, children, very carefully. In the meantime, I will erase the second question because we have already completed that. Okay, so I am erasing the second one, and this is the third question. Now look at the data very carefully. First of all, I would like to tell you one very, very important thing, which just listen to it very carefully. We all know that when a hollow body, you know, here when a hollow body is put inside water, it is going to float. Okay, so in this case, when the body is only going to float because it's hollow, then in that case the upthrust which is acting on the body is equal to the mass of the body. It is that law of flotation, the second case. When the body is hollow, it's going to float on the surface. Therefore, the upthrust over here will be equal to the mass of the ball. Okay, and what is the mass of the ball, children? It is 12 grams. So therefore, the upthrust is 12 GF in the first case. In the case of the hollow ball, the upthrust is 12 GF. Now what about the upthrust in case of the solid ball? Now it is solid, so therefore it is going to sink. So the upthrust will be V rho G. Okay. Now what is the volume of the ball given? 15. What is the density of iron is given? But here we are going to write down we are going to put the value for density of the liquid. Okay, in this case we are going to use the volume into density. But one thing I would like to tell you over here, children, I have made a mistake. The volume of the hollow ball is given. The volume of the solid ball is not given. I didn't notice, sorry. The volume of the solid ball is not given to you. It means that you are supposed to find out the volume of the solid ball first. Okay. So what are we going to use? Density is mass per unit volume. We know this formula. Now here, from here I will find out the volume. Volume is density into mass. Now what's the density given? 8. What is the mass? 12. Okay, because it has been given that mass and density both are, mass in both the balls is same. So that way 12 bits are, we are supposed to find out the volume. The volume will be mass upon density. Sorry children, I am making many mistakes. It will be mass upon density. Okay, now what is the mass? It is 12. What is the density? It is 8. So 12 upon 8 works out to be 1.5. Children, it's 1.5 gram per cubic centimeter. No, cubic centimeter is the volume. So we have worked out the volume of the solid ball. Now we will find out the upthrust. Upthrust is V rho G. What is V? 1.5. What is rho? Because it is water, so it is 1. And G is not given, we will not substitute the value. So therefore, what is the upthrust? 1.5 GF. Okay children, just have a look very carefully once again. You have two balls, solid and hollow. In this solid ball the volume is given, but in the hollow ball the volume is not given. Mass in both the cases is same. Upthrust you are supposed to find out, and the density of iron is given. Here it is very simple. I told you, when the ball is hollow it will float. So we are using the logic upthrust is mass of the ball, and that is 12 GF. But in this case we will first find out, we will use the formula V rho G, but we don't know the value of V. So we will first find out density is mass per unit volume. Volume is mass upon density, and we will find out the value of the volume to be 1.5. We will use V rho G. V is 1.5. Rho is the density of water, which is equal to 1. If the value is not given, we will use 1 by 1, because the unit is gram per cubic centimeter. In gram per cubic centimeter, the density of water is 1. And G is not given, we will not use. So therefore, the answer is 1.5. Now we come to the second part of the question. Which ball is going to sink? Now you all know that, now compare. The upthrust is 12, the mass is 12. The upthrust is 1.5 and the mass is 12. Now here you can see the upthrust is so small. So you will say therefore, you will say the solid iron ball sinks. The solid iron ball sinks. Reason? Because upthrust is less than the mass of the ball. Clear children? Please have a look at the third question, and we then go to the fourth numerical. Okay children, now I will solve the fourth numerical. Okay, I am reading out the fourth numerical problem for you. A solid of density. Now, density of the solid is given to be 5000 kg per cubic meter. This is the density of the solid given, and weighs 0.5 kg. So weight of solid in air. Weight of solid in air is 0.5 kg. Okay. What else is given? It is completely immersed in water. The density of water is also given. The density of H2O 1000 kg per cubic meter is given to you. And calculate the apparent weight. Okay, so you are supposed to find out the apparent weight. You know what is apparent weight, children? You know what is apparent weight? It is real weight minus upthrust. This is the formula for apparent weight. So which means that in this question we are going to find out two things. We will first find out the real weight and then we will find out the upthrust and then we subtract. The real weight is already given. See, the real weight is given 0.5. You need to find out the upthrust. Okay, and then you will subtract. Fine. How to go about it now? First of all, we will find out the upthrust. Now for upthrust, what's the formula, children? V rho g. Now let's look at what do we have. Do we have density of liquid? Water? Yes. Do we have V? Volume? No. We don't have the volume of the solid. So we first find out the volume by the formula density is mass per unit volume. Density of solid is mass per unit volume. We are supposed to find out volume. So therefore volume will be mass upon density. Mass upon density of solid. What's the mass? What's the mass? What's the mass of the solid? It is equal to 0.5. Okay. So we take therefore volume is mass is 0.5 upon what's the density of the solid? 5000. Let's remove the decimal. It will be 5 upon 50,000. And what is 5 upon 50,000? 1 upon 10,000. And 1 upon 10,000 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.00, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. This is the volume. So cubic meter. Yes, cubic meter. Okay, children. So I found out the volume. Now after finding out the volume, I will put the value here. So therefore the upthrust will be equal to V rho g. What is V? V is 1 upon, instead of taking the 0, I will take 1 upon 10,000 into density of water 1000. G is not given. Is G given? Let's check out. This is question 4. No, they haven't. So we will not put. Let's cancel. So you get upthrust as 1 upon 10, that is 0.1 kgf. So children, we have found out the upthrust. Now we will put the value. We will find out the apparent weight. The apparent weight is real weight. What's the real weight, children? 0.5 minus the upthrust. So your answer is 0.4 kgf. Just have a look, children. This was the fourth numerical. After this, we go to the fifth numerical problem. Just have a look, children, carefully. See, whenever the volume is not given, we have to find it out by the formula density is mass per unit volume. Now I am erasing the fourth numerical. We come to the fifth numerical. Okay, we are doing the fifth numerical now. I am reading it out. Two spheres. So you have sphere A and you have sphere B. There are two spheres given to you. Volume is 100 cubic centimeter. Each means both. Both have the same volume, 100 cubic centimeter. The density of water is given to be 1 gram per cubic centimeter. The sphere A is made up of wood. Okay, it is made up of wood. And the sphere B is made up of iron. This has been given to you. What else has been given? The density of wood is given. So we write down the density of wood. That is equal to 0.3 gram per cubic centimeter. And the density of iron is also given. Both the densities are given. It is 8.9 gram per cubic centimeter. So both the densities are given. You are supposed to find the weight of each sphere, the weight of each sphere and the upthrust acting on both. Okay. So how do we go about it, children? First of all, we will find out the weight. Weight corresponds to mass. So we will use the formula density is mass per unit volume. We need to find out the mass, so that will be density into volume in both the cases. Okay, the mass will be density into volume. Let's put the value. What's the density over here for wood? 0.3 into what's the volume? 100. So what's your answer? 30 gram force. Okay, mass is in grams, but we have to find out weight. So we will take the unit as gram force. Okay, so this is the weight. Then we come, similarly we do this. Mass is, what is the density? 8.9. What is the volume? 100. So therefore, what is the weight? What would be the weight, children? It would be equal to 890 gram force. Okay, so the first part is done. We have found out the weight for both the spheres. Now we have to find out the upthrust. Again, we have to be very, very careful. Upthrust for sphere A and upthrust for sphere B. Okay, so if we want to find out the upthrust for A, just have a look, children. This is wood. We know that wood is going to be very light, it's going to float. So what did I tell you? When anything which floats, in that case, what would be the upthrust? It will be equal to the mass. Okay, you remember? So therefore, we will say upthrust is equal to the mass of the sphere, which is going to be equal to, what is the mass? 30. So we write down 30 gram force is the upthrust on sphere A. What about sphere B? It is made up of iron, so it's going to sink. So we will write down B rho G, we will find out. What is V? What is the volume? 100. What is the density? It is in water, so we use the density of water, that is 1. G is not given, we are not going to use it. So it is 100 G. See, certain technical things have to be kept in mind always. What are the technical things? First of all, we should know that when the thing is hollow or maybe it's very light in weight, in that case, whenever the upthrust has to be found out, we will not use V rho G, we will directly equate it to the mass. But when something which is very heavy is going to sink, in that case, we will find out by V rho G. Okay, children? And of course, remember the Archimedes principle. The apparent loss in weight is equal to the volume of the liquid displaced or the volume of the body, which is equal to the upthrust. Okay, so these things have to be kept in mind. Fine. Now we move on. Is there any other part? Yes. The second part, which sphere is going to float? Very, very clear. The sphere A is going to float. And why is it going to float? Because we will say sphere A floats. Sphere A floats as, because, or you can say because the upthrust is equal to the mass of the ball, mass of the ball or the sphere whatsoever. Okay, you can see the mass and the upthrust are equal, so it's going to float. But in this case, the weight is 890 while the upthrust is only 100. So naturally that is going to sink. So let's move on to the next question, or the sixth question. Children, quickly we solve. That is the last question, I think, so I will be able to do it because the video is really extending. So I'm just going to do the sixth numerical for you, children. Quickly, I want you to have a look at the sixth question now. Okay, I'll read out the mass of the bob. The mass of the bob is given to be, it's given to be 13.5 kg. Okay, this is the mass of the bob, and the volume of the bob is also given. It is 15 into 10 to the power minus cubic meters. Okay, so these two values are given. We are supposed to calculate the upthrust. Okay, fine. We'll take one by one. We are supposed to find out the upthrust, and they have told us to take the density of water to be 1000. So naturally V rho G is the formula, simple as that. What is the volume? 15 into 10 to the power minus 3. We take it down, 10 to the power 3. Density is 1000. This cancels. Our answer is 15 kgf. Okay, simple and direct. Then the second part is, will the block float or sink in water? Just have a look. the upthrust is 15 and the mass is 13.5. So naturally you will say upthrust is greater than the mass of the ball. Now when the upthrust is greater than the mass of the ball, what's going to happen? Upthrust is greater than the mass, so what is going to happen? It will float. It will float. And what's the third part of the question? The third part of the question is, what will be the upthrust on the block while floating? Now what will be the upthrust? The upthrust while floating, what would be the upthrust? Yes children, we know upthrust will be equal to the mass. Okay, while floating it's equal to the mass. So that will be equal to 13.5 kgf. Okay, the upthrust is equal to the mass while floating. So therefore that would be the third part. Okay children, quickly just have a look at all these numerical problems. I have solved 6 numerical problems for you. The remaining 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th I will be solving in the next video. Thank you, and just go through these numericals carefully and solve them. Okay children, fine.